This week we are investigating which of the Roman achievements had the most significant impact on Britain. To investigate this, we need to think about a timeline. We could also use the word chronology. This means the order of events in time. Here is a list of some other key vocabulary that might also become very important. So to start our timeline, let's travel back. Before you were born, before I was born, before the Queen was born, before World War II, before World War One, before the reign of Henry VIII and all the Tudors. We're going right back in time to AD 43. At this time, Emperor Claudius started to invade England. Now he came with a big army. It was believed to have 40,000 soldiers in it and elephants. When his army arrived, it arrived in the south of England, in an area near Kent. From here, his army set up a base, like a capital, in an area called Colchester. Once they had established the base, they could start moving their attack into different areas of England, including Dorset, the Midlands, Lincolnshire, and Somerset. We need to think very carefully here. The Roman army was getting very strong, and they did bring a lot of benefits to the country. But how might the people who already lived in Britain have felt? Some of these people were called Celts. Did they want the ideas the Romans brought, or did they just see it as an invasion? Did the Romans and Celts want to share power and land or not? Did the Romans and Celts share the food and resources of the land or not? One Celtic tribe was called the Iceni tribe. They were led by their queen, Boudica. This tribe were believed to have really not liked the invasions from the Romans. It is believed they are responsible for what's called a rebellion, where they fought back against the Romans. They even attacked Colchester, where over 70,000 people died. Boudica was known as a very strong queen, but she wasn't strong enough to stop the Roman invasions. More rebellions continued in Wales, but the Romans defeated the last of those in AD 73. When this happened, the Romans built a series of forts in Wales to make sure they were strong there too. In AD 79, the Romans tried to conquer Scotland, but were unsuccessful. It is believed that invasions then moved to Ireland. However, it is unclear whether or not these were successful. There have been various artifacts found, which would suggest that the invasions of Ireland were successful. However, nobody can know for certain. Nobody was actually there, and there isn't enough evidence to suggest either way. The rule of Emperor Hadrian and the things that happened within this time are very important when we are thinking about Roman Britain. During his reign, Hadrian's Wall was completed. Ruins of this landmark can still be seen today in various places. Hadrian's Wall was a huge wall that ran across the width of Britain. Although it might look like it on the map, this was not to just divide England and Scotland. The wall had many advantages. One was to support the army. They could use it to defend themselves. There were forts at different points along the wall which acted as a base for the soldiers. It was also a very clever way of controlling trade between different areas of Britain. This meant the Romans had the upper hand in terms of what went in and out of different areas. After Hadrian's death, the next emperor abandoned work on Hadrian's Wall and started work on a new wall about 99 miles north. This wall had the same idea, however, it had a lot more forts. During the reign of both of these emperors, work on the Roman roads had continued. Around this time, there was probably about 8,000 miles of different roads connecting different areas in England. This may not sound a lot to us when you think how many roads we have now, but at the time this was a big thing. Before Roman roads, people would probably walk or travel on horseback on dirt tracks. The Romans designed straight roads connecting directly from one place to the other, making travel a lot quicker for soldiers. They also thought about putting different layers within their roads to support drainage from the rain. Despite trying to build his own wall, Emperor Antonius could not defeat the northern tribes, so he had to retreat back to Hadrian's Wall towards the end of his reign. Roman emperors still continued to try and overcome Scotland. However, they became less and less successful and gradually had to retreat from more and more areas of Scotland. To try and regain some of their strength and control, the Romans decided to divide Britain into two areas. The north became known as Britannia Inferior, while the south became known as Britannia Superior. Peace did not last for long, and in AD 306 there was a civil war. A civil war is when two areas of the same country fight each other. Emperor Constantine the Great was victorious, and he said he was aided by God. To thank God for his support during the battle, he became a Christian. Emperor Constantine also then announced that Christianity would be an accepted religion for the first time in history. This again was quite a significant thing. Before this time, people had to hide the fact that they were Christians for fear of being punished or even killed. As you can see, Britain changed quite a lot while the Romans invaded, and these are only just a few of the changes that happened. What do you think were the most important? Are there any changes that the Romans brought to Britain that we can still see in Britain now? What might life be like if the Romans never came to Britain? Would the country look the same? Enjoy having a little think about these questions.